Hi and welcome back to the James Wingfield Racing channel. This tonight is going to be a highlights video for some racing that we've done recently. If you checked out the channel and you were here last week, then you'll have seen my introduction video. It was the first one I've ever put up. It's a brand new channel and that goes into detail of a little bit of detail anyway about what we want to do with it. So stay tuned and come back and look out for all the new content as it goes up. All through the year I'm going to have stuff on sim racing, on iRacing, on real world racing in my own Caterham, and also some tutorials. So I want to put a lot of stuff out there to help you guys, to help people into motorsport, to help people who are in motorsport get better, and yeah, just to help understand a little bit more about how an engineer might approach a race event. So there's a load of stuff coming up on that. I've got one video already in work on how to read data, but tonight, as I say, it's not about that. Tonight is just a highlights video. So a couple of days ago I hosted a fun night on iRacing, so just got a load of friends, a load of JWR supporters all in one place, and we just had a really good night. Had a laugh. We had sort of car-to-car communications over the internet, and we crammed in as many races as we could. We managed to get 5 races in, all different cars, all different tracks, so there was a real mix, a bit for everyone to enjoy. Yeah, so let's get straight into the highlights video, and yeah, hopefully you can see all the action.
James Wingfield steals it!
So straight into race 1, here we are. You can see we're in MX5s at Alton Park in the UK. The whole process of these race nights, as I say, I try and cram in as many races as we can, so it's all short races, sort of 10-15 minute qualifying, 10-15 minute races usually. No practice for anyone, no one knows what tracks and cars we're using, so it's very much a case of jump in and try and get up to speed as quick as you can, and we'll all be learning through the race. You can see in this case I was actually quite lucky. I managed to start on pole because I had a good lap and quali, and got clear round turn 1. Good start to the race, which is good. From there on, there's always a bit more action later on, so we should see in the next couple of laps it all mixes up quite a lot, but there's action all the way down the field. And you can see here straight into sort of turn 3 or something like that. Dan Robbins, new racer with us this time. Just gets it slightly wrong on the brakes by the looks of it. You can see this isn't quite on board, I suppose, is it? But from this view, he just misses his braking point a little bit, goes to the inside to avoid the crash, 2 wheels on the grass, and then unfortunately collects, I think that's Adam Preston in front. So a shame for those guys, but it's partly for this reason that we run with damage not enabled at the moment in this series. Because there's no practice, people making mistakes left, right and centre really. So it's good fun, it's exciting racing, and we don't want to penalise people for that. So yeah, we won't penalise them from that, they'll get going again. You can see straight away into lap 2. A little mistake for me in this case, I ran a bit wide. We're on board with Tom Guest now, and he's up the inside of Jake Olver. And that's a good move there into the hairpin for the lead. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Gary got past me as well on down the straight there, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And the next couple of laps I'm trying to get back into the lead now, so moving up into 3rd, gone inside Gary. Managed to make that move stick, took a couple of corners. These MX5s are so close, they're great fun to use in iRacing actually, but they're so close, you always get good racing in these. There's not much power, but you can really throw them around, you can really dance around with these cars, and I think the feedback from everyone who raced was that they enjoyed it and they really started to get quicker and quicker. You can see in this case James Marabello we're on board with there, taking advantage of a couple of spins in front. 2 places, thank you very much, he says. On this one, Tom Guest in the lead. Yeah, in the lead. He says he Vettels it. I don't know if I can say that. Vettel drives a Mercedes engine now, doesn't he? But yeah, he just a bit unlucky on the exit, lost the back on the way out of the hairpin. And a shame for him because he was really doing well in the lead at that time, but definitely racing for the win. Matt Cook, slightly too exuberant there through the hairpin as well, lost the back end and got collected on the exit. This was a real shame. James, we said earlier he was doing quite well. I think he was up to about 6th place here. He was heading for a really good result, and you see he actually just crashed there. It was because his computer disconnected, so I'm sure he was kicking himself after that. But he did get back on, and he managed to make up for it. Got back on in this race, did a few more laps, and then had a good night for the rest of the evening. So that's good. Here we've got Adam Preston making a move into the last corner. It looks like Dan Robbins is recovering as well from that lap. In fact, both of these guys are recovering from lap 1. So you can see they are Ford, this is why we don't have damage. They still had a good race out of it. Jim's back he's back online, but off track. He's running very wide there. I think he's closer to the track on the other side actually. But yeah, never mind. He got back on. Got back online eventually and carried on to have a good race. Here you go, lap 9. I've managed to get back up in the second, and I like seeing things like that. Wingfield takes the lead. There you go, good little move. Happy with that. Up the inside into the chicane. Just kept it tidy on the exit. Jake over there in second place. This kind of set the scene for the evening for the pair of us. We had some great battles all the way through, and this was the start of it. So I got up the inside into the chicane, and here he is coming back up the inside again into the last corner. Slightly slow on the exit, and I found I got a bit of a run on him here. Couldn't actually make the move, so I kind of tapped back in and thought I'd wait for the next lap. I wasn't quite sure how many laps there'd be at this point, but as we got onto this lap, it turned out this was the white flag. So into the last lap, through the same corner, you see I've got the same kind of move, gone to the left, side by side down to the straight, and that's very reminiscent of any of the Caterham races where we always seem to finish side by side. You look at the slow-mo afterwards, I was really lucky. I think I won it by 0.03 of a second. Very, very little in it from Jake, who did a stellar drive there. And I have to say thanks as well to Jake. He's put the video together. So these video highlights, he spent his free time putting those together for us, which is an awesome thing. Hopefully we'll be able to do this for each of our race nights that we have coming up as well. Of course, that was a race win. We've still got other people racing. These guys are Adam, Alan and Dan, and they're racing for 6th place. Same corner. Coming out at 3 wide, they are coming out there. Dan Robbins got the best exit. I think he went into that corner third of the 3 of them, and he managed to steal 2 places on the last few hundred metres of that race. So must be a good recovery for him, and he must be feeling much happier after lap 1. Into race 2, completely different now. We're at the Tsukaba, Japanese circuit, and in this case we're running in the Ford Spec races. These cars are really interesting actually. They're Sigma engines, same engine as my Caterham, which is always nice. They're very tricky though to keep hold of. Not a huge amount of power in them, so it's all about momentum, but also on the way into the corner it's really easy to lose the back end. And you'll see quite a number of people doing that through the race. They're not easy at all, these cars, to master. And unfortunately here we see Alan Curtis spinning out of 3rd place. He did a stellar job in quali to get himself up to 3rd, but unfortunately came a cropper on lap 1 there. The same corner next time round, I'm now in 3rd, and I lock up a little bit and run wide, so Dan Spicer now takes over 3rd place, which seemed to be where all the action was actually in this one. We had a good little fight here round the next corner. I couldn't quite hang on to it, so had to tuck in, and then into the following hairpin. This time round the roles are reversed. He locks the brakes slightly and runs wide, and I'm up the inside. So spent a good half a lap here fighting. Nice and close, very fair. As is always the case actually. It's been really good. We've had 2 of these nights now, and both of them have been huge fun and really good, even and fair racing with everyone, so very much looking forward to the next one. Just trying to finish off that move, struggling to find a gear at this point, but managed to get one eventually, and there you go. That is me into 3rd place. Down the straight, can never really break away, so Dan's throwing it straight up the inside again. This time round, again, I've managed to just hang on around the outside, bit of a wall of death, but now I'm on the inside for the next corner, so should be mine. Gone in a bit too hot though, and yeah, I think this time round locked up again. Dan's through and a bit further clear, so I had a bit of a chase on here. 2 laps it took me to catch him, and that was kind of my racing for the rest of this event, was trying to catch up with Dan and get back into 3rd place, I think, ultimately. You can see here Jake and Tom Guest have got a big lead. They were really impressive actually in this race. I have to say, having said a minute ago that the cars are easy to spin, you can see a couple of them there spinning. Those 2 just really put on a demonstration and obviously got to grips with the car straight away. So really impressive from them. We're now lap 11, and Derek Irwin this time just avoiding a spinning Dan Robbins. Did well to avoid that. Managed to keep it going forwards. And here is Robbins recovering up through the field actually, and Alan. So yeah, it's not all spins, look, it's good clean racing. Great move here from Dan. You can see the car moving around on the apex, but he's held onto the apex, left room for each other, and yeah, good move there to take the place. Looks like they're just in front of Gary Thomas, who's in his familiar sort of yellow and black what is it, kind of like a press car, one that they're trying to hide all the new cars. It's a spy car shot, that one, isn't it? Very notable livery there. Yeah, so that was race 2. Well done to Jake who won that one. On to race 3, something completely different now. So we've got street stock races, and obviously a dirt oval here. So this one is all about massive drift angles. Everyone feels like a hero in this race, and it was really good fun. Got to spend a lot of time sideways, got to spend a lot of time racing people, and plenty of incidents as well. Right from the beginning, you see here, I'm in the 13 car as always, and Gary has managed to get up the inside at that point, and I think we spent laps here trying to just make this one move. It was brilliant, close racing. You can see he's on the lower inside line, so he's having to take a slightly slower speed around the corner, but a shorter line as well, and so it was really kind of ebbing and flowing between us. Synchronised drifting is great. We must be about a lap and a half into this single overtaking move. Really short laps here, 17-second lap time. So yeah, it was fast and frantic. I think this was a 15-minute race. We got about 50 laps in or something like that. Eventually, I just ran a bit too wide there. I think I couldn't quite get the turn in I wanted. Ran a bit wide, kissed the wall. So Gary got that one for now. And then we started to get into a bit of a chaos now. So, oh, and there we go. Threading it through the gap there, did really well to avoid all these cars. Because we're on dirt, it's quite hard to change your line, and you'll see a few times here that happens. In this case, Mike Hilton, another real world racer from my Caterham series, so he got it a bit wrong there unfortunately and just backed into the traffic as he was trying to recover. Got fairly unceremoniously dumped into the pit lane upside down. And here we got Robbins again, Dan Robbins. Looks to be putting in a strong showing in the dirt street stock. This was a great move, look at that, drifting around the outside of the number 6. I think that's Alan Curtis inside us. Yeah, great sideways overtake on the outside. It looks even better from this outside shot, look how close they are, no contact. That's what this one's all about, isn't it? That's what this street stock's all about. Yeah, someone recovering on a racing line, I couldn't quite get out of the way. And look at that, just conveniently positioned gap in the fence. I ended up straight in the pit lane, had to recover, come out of the pits again. Didn't matter too much, I still managed to get onto the podium I think in this one. You can see here the inside line is actually really drying up. All the dirt, the iRacing is really good, it models the surface as well, so as we drive on it the dirt's moved, and because the dirt's gone, the grip's gone as well. So people are really starting to struggle, a lot more sideways action, a lot more incidents and spins. It's like someone was recovering backwards down the track there, which wasn't great for Gary Thomas, who unfortunately collected him. And I think as he gets a bit of a pinball mode here, he was trying to get back going, got collected again and again, and now he's just kind of a passenger on top of that car, dumped upside down on the straight as someone else comes and sends him skyward yet again. I think there's another big hit before finally he comes to rest at the side. Wasn't his best lap that, unfortunately, well, no fault of his own, he was upside down for most of it. I think later on he recovers a bit better in some of these races. So yeah, dirt street stock was great fun, and then into race 4. So this one was at Silverstone, nice local track to me. I'm only in Northampton, so it's only about half an hour away. Aussie V8s, great big powerful cars, quite heavy, very very sideways. I think they got locked rear axle actually even, but these things were brilliant fun to drive and race. You can see again I was lucky enough to get off on the pole. Held the lead for the first corner or so, but then down here into Maggots I got it all wrong, locked up the rears. Jake got it a bit wrong as well behind me, and we both ran wide, so first and second both off the road. That was a bit of a schoolboy error. Now we had a lot to recover from. Fortunately this was me out on Luffield later that lap, and I managed to get something done here. 3 cars all suddenly parted and I just had a gap to go through, so thank you very much. I had all 3 places. That was very helpful in my recovery drive. Got a couple of perfectly synchronised spins there, looks nice on camera. As I say, locked rear axles on these, and big V8, big powerful cars, it's very easy to spin the wheels on the exit of the corners. So we'll see quite a lot of that through the race. And here Jake was up the inside into Brooklands, but I managed to hang around the outside, which you can do sometimes here, you get away with it. And of course it gives you the inside line for Luffield, so the shorter inside line, I managed to recover it. This time around the same kind of thing, Tom Guest with us as well, and I think Jake's really sent it that time, probably a bit too late. Does really well to keep it on the road, but overshoots a bit too far, and I managed to get the cut back there on Thomas. So back up into second place. But not for long. It looks like this Copse Corner, high speed though it is, it's not quite as high speed as either of us thought it was that lap round. So we both run a bit wide, and Jake gets it back. And then into Maggots. I think I'll try and get it back. Little lock up from Jake, little lock up from me, and I actually tagged the back of him there, so I thought I'd best back out of that and give him the place back. Lets Thomas get through, and I think he managed to break free there. So a few laps later, yeah, as he says there, style points for Jake. Really sends it in sideways. You can get away with it in these. Look at that as a drift angle. There's a few laps just around Brooklands as well. We've got really good drift angles going on down there, so it was good fun to drive. Now at this point we kind of resumed our one-on-one battle that we were having all night. Jake goes up the inside again into Brooklands. He was absolutely mega on the brakes there, kept getting up the inside there, but I would always manage to just hold it on the outside. And then as before, just stuck with it round Luffield and got the exit done. This was Dan Robbins doing the same kind of move. He gets up the inside at Brooklands. I think he had a slightly better line maybe through Luffield here, and he manages to stay on the outside, which is impressive. It's hard to do that. And he gets a nice clean exit, gets the power down, a little bit squirrely on the exit there, but yeah, gets good exit and the place is his. This time round, what have we got? Hilton, yeah. He's getting the place. Sneaks through on the inside of Luffield. Something a bit wide there. You can see the night was really closing in. Set this one up to run. As you saw, it was daylight earlier, it was kind of into sunset and now into the night, which is an interesting experiment. It was really good to race actually, really good fun from a driver's perspective. Makes it a bit harder for the video, but it was a great race. And you see here the end, someone ending in style there at Silverstone. And that was our Aussie V8 experience. Good fun, I think that's one definitely to repeat. Race 5. Laguna Seca, this one was a proper night race in the Radicals, so these are, I love these cars, these are brilliant cars in iRacing, and yeah, very pointy, very quick, but you can really sort of dance with them when you're on it. Laguna Seca is a tough track, and I didn't put a lap in qualifying, so I started at the end, I started at the back, started in 10th, and managed to get a really good start, up to about 6th, and then avoided some of the chaos through this early part, up to 4th I think now. Second place goes for it now, so now I'm into 3rd, and then second place, new second place inside me there, managed to get around him as well, so 10th to 2nd in a few corners. Unfortunately it didn't last though, so a few spins later on in the race and I actually got stuck in a barrier, had to abandon that one and recover to the pits. But yeah, good fun. A few more instances, it's like a little bit late on the brakes there, unfortunately a little bit of a punt. And then there were spins, so many spins. I think that underplays it. So these cars are great fun, really pointy, but it is quite easy to lose the back. And it seems at Laguna, especially, if you run wide onto the dust, there's just no grip, and so many people were caught out by it. Probably good that it was all under cover of darkness now, because we can all get away with saying it wasn't us. You can't tell it was me spinning. I'm sure it wasn't me spinning, of course. It's good for brake discs though, blowing discs, it was nice. I think these cars, we've used these cars on both of the race nights we've done so far. I think they'll probably make a bit of a regular appearance. I like them and the racing's been really good and close so far, so we'll look forward to winning those back. Maybe not night race immediately, maybe a bit more practice for us first. Try and get a few less spins next time round. But yeah, so as it says there, that was the video highlights. Thanks very much to Jake for putting it all together, and of course I hosted the event. Looking forward to hosting more of these. So we did one in December, end of December. We did this one a few days ago, end of January, and we are looking to do another one in probably about 3 weeks. So if you want to get involved, give us a shout. Get in touch via on any of the channels. You can get in touch on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, anything like that. Discord is where I run it from, so if you want, then comment on this video. I can send you a link to the Discord group and you can get involved, and yeah, it'll be good to have a few more people out racing next time. We've built in numbers. It's only really been going a month or two, and already we've got pretty much a full grid, so looking forward to building that even further. So thanks very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed that race, enjoyed watching the videos, and yeah, maybe we'll see you in it next time. Keep tuned to the channel. I've got a few more videos that I'm working on at the moment. I'll probably get another one out next week on some data analysis. I've looked at some of my laps from iRacing again, and I've analysed my corners, and I've shown you the kind of thought processes that I'm going through and how you can improve your own driving by comparing your data laps. So that's another video to look out for in a week or so. But until then, keep watching, keep subscribed to the channel, and stay safe. See you soon, guys. Cheers.